2 times a year around here, we get Grandma Rose's Hush Puppy cornbread dressing.
That's right.
And it is just fabulous. We have so many requests, people wanting her to make it for them, but she just doesn't have the time to do it anymore. She used to make it and sell it.
We used to own a restaurant. Good morning, I'm Rose from Grandma Rose's Open Pantry. We used to own a restaurant. And every Thanksgiving and every Christmas, and it was in Warner Robins. Now that's 6 cups of cornmeal. Now this is plain cornmeal. This is not your cornmeal mix. This is just stone ground cornmeal because this is what I use. I don't use the mix. I don't even keep it because it has flour in it. And even though this is going to have flour, this is going to be just my old-timey dressing, Hush Puppy dressing. So if you want this self-rising, you use the same amount of self-rising that I'm using of the plain cornmeal. So it's the same. I just don't happen to have any, so I'm using my my plain cornmeal. And I was telling you, we used to own a restaurant, and it was in Warner Robins, and there's an Air Force base in Warner Robins. And every Thanksgiving and every Christmas, I did a lot of catering when we had the restaurant. And so I would cater turkey, dressing, all the fixings. And sometimes I would cater for 35, sometimes I'd cater for 50, sometimes they'd be 125 in one department of the Air Force Base that I was catering for. So, needless to say, we had to get there early, we had to get up early, and it was a job. But that's where I came up with this Hush Puppy dressing. And because we had big cookers, big deep fryers, and so people absolutely loved it. They loved it, and I have always made my dressing that way ever since. And so it's just the way that I do, and delicious. It's so good. All right, so y'all gonna get a treat this morning. Y'all gonna watch me make it. And if you've never done it this way, try it one time. It's really, really good. All right, this is 8 cups of my plain cornmeal. Now, for every cup of cornmeal, the plain cornmeal that I use 1/4 cup of flour. So there's 8 cups of cornmeal here. So I've got 2 cups of flour. Now, this is just regular self-rising flour. If you're gluten-free, use gluten-free flour. All right, now I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to put 2, because this has no rising agent in it. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons and 1 teaspoon of baking powder, okay? Now, I need a spoon. I'm just going to stir this all up together. All right, I've got that mixed up really good. Now, I'm going to cut my onions. Now, I put a lot of onion in my dressing. I do not put raw onions in it when I start to cook it. I put it in my Hush Puppies. That way the onions get cooked. So, I've got 3 medium-sized onions here. I'm going to measure it for y'all by the cup so you'll know. And you can half this recipe, you can fourth this recipe. You don't have to make as much as I do. So this is a 2 cup, this is a 1.5 cup measure right here. So, all right, this is 1.5 cups. And I'm going to try to put about 3 cups, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in. So I'm hoping this is 3 cups of onions. And I'm also going to put some onion powder in it to give it that more of an onion flavor. Because we do love onions, don't we, baby?
We do.
Everybody in our family loves onions.
You won't have any hush in your puppy if you don't put onions in it.
If you don't put onions in it.
That's right.
That's right. All right. I'm using the wrong tool here. Okay. I have all this and then I forget to use it. And what good does it do me to have these little utensils if I don't use them?
Keeps your drawers full.
It does. Alright. I could have had this done before I got on here with y'all, but I didn't. I've been busy this morning. Okay, but a lot of people do like to watch it. Alright, that was 3 good cups of onions. Alright, now I'm going to stir these up, and I may put more. I'm not sure, but I may. Doesn't look like it's going to be enough, because this is going to be a lot of dressing, y'all. I may have to get a bigger bowl. And what I do is, let me get some, I'm going to put some onion powder in it. What I do is, when I, well, I'll do it like this. Well, I need to measure it anyway. That's 2 teaspoons of onion powder. I'll cook when I'm gonna do these in my deep fryer, and when I'll cook one and see if I've got enough baking powder or enough flour in it. I know by the texture. So, and if I don't, then I'll add a little bit more to it. All right. This is a lot of dressing. Hold on. I'm going to change bowls, y'all.
Your family eats a lot of dressing.
We eat a lot of dressing. And you know, if I have any left over, I freeze it. All right, this is better. You know what? I'm going to put another teaspoon of salt. So that was 2 teaspoons of salt. Now, I'll have this in the description box. I think what I'll do is I'll give you half this recipe, because a lot of people do not cook this much dressing. So I'll give you half the recipe, and then you can double it if you want to. Is that okay? All right. Now, buttermilk. Whole buttermilk. You do not want low-fat buttermilk. You want whole buttermilk. And I'm not going to measure that. Well, maybe I better. Maybe I better measure it for you. All right, this is a 2-cup measuring cup. Whoa, this is thick. Ooh, look at that. That is thick buttermilk. Wow. All right. It's because most of my stuff was up at the, I couldn't shake it because it's a new thing. I'll shake it now. All right. Now then. All right, that was 2 cups. Now then, that's better. 4 cups, 6 cups of buttermilk. All right, let's stir this up. It's going to take this whole thing probably, which is 8 cups, I think, because it's a half a gallon. All right, I know it will. All right, that's 8 cups of buttermilk. And we're going to put eggs in this too. So I'm not going to put any more buttermilk until I get my eggs in it. Alright. Because I don't want it too soupy. Alright. Y'all, I washed my, this was 8 cups of buttermilk. And I put about a cup of water in it to wash my jug out really good because I want to get all that buttermilk out. So that was really about 9 cups of liquid all together. Now, I'm going to put 6 eggs in this. So I'll break them in a little separate. Oh! Y'all.
That's the first one, Rose.
That is a first.
I've never seen you do that.
I've never done that. That was a thin shelled egg. But my table is clean, y'all. So, my table is really clean. All right, I'm going to do it like this. That's 3 eggs, 4 eggs, 5 eggs. That's funny, y'all. 6 eggs. All right. Oh.
Never seen that
If
one
you
before.
can't have fun in the kitchen, I mean, good grief.
Go to the yard.
Yeah, let me get this up.
But hopefully you can enjoy your kitchen too.
Yeah, of course. All right. All right. Hold on just a second. I got bleach water in my sink here, so let me get this up for y'all. All right. It really didn't spread out. It stayed in one little place. Okay. That was 6 eggs. And I think that's all I'm going to put in there. And that's the right consistency. That's the consistency I want. It's like thick pancake batter. And if y'all have ever made hush puppies, you know what consistency you like. Okay. All right. Got this stirred up really well. It looks like I may have to put a little bit more baking powder in it. We'll see. All right. Now, I've got to get my deep fryer out. I'm going to get all this put up before I start and clean up before I start frying my hush puppies. So when I start to do that, then I'll bring you back and I'll show you how we're going to do our hush puppies.
There's a hush puppy.
All right, y'all, I got my deep fryer out and I've got it set on 350 degrees and I've got lard in my deep fryer, and this is the lard that I use. Old-fashioned kettle rendered lard. You can use any kind of oil that you use for yours. Now, I told y'all I was going to cook one hush puppy and see what the consistency was and taste of it and see if I had enough onion, enough baking powder, or whatever. Now, this is the consistency. See how light and fluffy? Yeah, you gonna taste, baby?
Yep, this is mine. That one's yours.
Y'all. That makes the best dressing.
Ooh,
Is that good, baby?
that'll make a push puppy.
Okay, now, I got my little scooper here. And what I do is I just scoop my hush puppies in my deep fryer like this. try not to get them too big because I want them to cook through before they get too brown.
But you're not really wanting them to be real small either, are you?
No. About the size that that one that I just made. They're gonna spread out a little bit, but you can look at them and tell they've got plenty of leveling, plenty of rising agent in them. So it's gonna take a little while to cook these, but I cook them, put them in my thing here, and then when we get them all cooked, then we're gonna come back and we're gonna make our dressing. This is kind of a process, but let me tell you something, it is well worth it. All right, y'all. Look, I want you to look at these. Now you talk about good. These hush puppies. Look at that texture, man. And all this crust, this is what makes my dressing so good. All right, I have got chicken broth and I've got pork broth here that I have in the freezer. And I love cooking it ahead, putting it in the freezer. You see all this fat on top? Then I just take and get this fat off, and I've still got that wonderful broth underneath this fat. I don't put this fat in, okay? And I'm gonna take it off of this. This was the pork broth. All right, now this is some really good rich broth. I made a Boston butt the other week, and oh man, so I use pork broth and chicken broth in my dressing. I learned years ago that makes wonderful dressing. All right, now I've got my, and this is cold because my hush puppies are hot. So I'm not going to put it all in there right now. So this is a quart, which is 4 cups. And that's a half a quart. So far I've got 6 cups. And this is cream of celery soup. A can of cream of celery soup. I've got my oven set on 350, because I'm going to cook us just a small dish of it, but then I'm going to put the other in the freezer for next week. Okay, so that was 1 can of cream of celery, 1 can of cream of chicken. Now, if you're using gluten-free flour, you can make your own gluten-free cream of chicken soup, but I'm making this for the family. They're not gluten-free. I told you that at the beginning. So I'm not worried about it. This is just my traditional dressing. Okay? Now I'm going to put 4 eggs. Even though I have eggs in my hush puppies, I want 4 eggs in my dressing. And the broth has cooled my eggs off. Okay? All right, now I just get in there with my hands like this, both hands, and I just start mixing just like this. Now I've got a little dish there. Now I showed y'all the other day that the way I put something in the microwave and microwave it for like 30 seconds or a minute. That way when I do a casserole, dressing, anything like that, I can tell if I need to season it more. I can tell whatever I need by cooking a little bit in the microwave. Okay? So I may add some more to it, but I do not want my hush puppies to be dry. I want them to be, I don't want them soupy, but my hush puppies, my dressing, I'm sorry. I don't want it to be dry. And this is just about the consistency that I like it, because I'm gonna bake it in the oven for like probably 45 to 50 minutes. And if it's too dry, then it's more like cornbread. You have to cut it like cornbread, and that's not the way I like my dressing. And it's fine if there's still little chunks. See those little chunks? That's where the little crispies on the Hush Puppies, and that just makes your dressing delicious. All right, I'm not gonna put any salt. I'm not gonna put anything in it until I put a little bit in my microwave and cook it, and then I'm gonna taste of it. All right, let me wash my hands.
Now this is only about half of what we're going to cook,
yeah,
so that they'll realize
right.
we've got a whole nother.
Yeah, we only cooked half the Hush Puppies, but I wanted to go ahead and show y'all. And I'm doing so many at one time until I'll do it in 2 batches, and I can season it and I get my flavors together better. All right. We're gonna put that on 1 minute, and by that it'll be done. I always make a mess when I'm cooking, y'all. Alright. I've turned my grease down, and when I get through with this and get this in the oven, then we're gonna finish cooking. But see all that fat? Now that puts a lot of richness in your broth, and when it gels, then you take it out, throw this away, and you've still got that really rich broth. So, all right, let's see. I may have to do it
More than one time?
I'm not. Okay, you see that?
Mm-hmm.
My egg, everything is done. This is the way I like my dressing. Now it's gonna dry out just a little bit more in the oven, but not much.
Dressing is not supposed to be
It's
as
not
dry as
supposed to be.
stuffing,
It's
is
not
it?
supposed to be dry as stuffing. It's not supposed to be cornbread.
And it's not supposed to be floating in
No. This is the consistency right
pasty.
here that
almost.
I like my dressing.
If it was smooth, it would be pasty.
Oh my goodness. That is delicious, y'all. That's pretty near perfect right there. Pretty near perfect. I'm not going to add anything else to it. No salt, no garlic, no, but now, all right, I am not a sage person. I am not a poultry season person. Roy doesn't like sage. None of my family likes sage. So I do not use sage, and I do not like use poultry seasoning. If you do, by all means, put as much as you want to in there. But we do not like it. None of my family likes it. So I wasn't raised on it. My mama never used it. I guess that's the reason that we don't like it. But by all means, any seasonings you want to put in yours, you go right ahead, because you know how your family likes it.
And if you'll use this microwave trick, you can know exactly how it's going to taste when you finish cooking
Just put a little bit in a bowl, stick it in your microwave for 1 minute, taste of it, and then you can tell if you need more seasonings. I'm gonna let you taste, baby. Man, that's good. It's hot now. Woo!
Oh, that's ready.
Isn't that good? That is delicious. A lot of times I have to re-season and I have to add, but not this time. This time it's perfect. So,
Where's my turkey?
what I'm going to
I need
do,
a turkey leg.
I know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cook some of this for our lunch.
Well, it's getting on pretty close to supper now.
I know.
You've had me in this kitchen all day
But
long.
we've been nibbling, so, that's okay. All right. That's all I'm going to cook. Mike will I know Mike will eat some of this. But I got still this much more, many more Hush Puppies to cook. So, I'm going to put this on 350. And I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. I'm gonna put it on 30 minutes. I'll show you what it looks like, but we've already tasted of it.
But you can freeze this in this state right here.
This is the way I freeze it. When I get, now I'll put this in a container. Then when we get the rest of our hush puppies made, I will make up another batch just like this. And I'll have this in a container. I'll have that in a container because I don't have a big enough one for all of it. So I put it in 2 different containers. Put it in the freezer. Wednesday, I'll take it out, put it in my fridge. And then Thursday morning, I will cook it. So, all right. We're just, Roy and I now are going to continue to make our hush puppies. And so I'm not going to show you because I've already shown you how to do my dressing. But I will show you when this comes out. But I'm doing my taste test right now. Let me tell you. If you've never done hush puppy dressing, try it one time. Just one time. And I think that's the way you will make it from now. So as soon as this gets ready, we'll be back. Okay.
You got homemade cranberry sauce there?
This is our dressing. This is that little, now I got, y'all know how much dressing I was making. Oh my. I got 2 big containers to go in the freezer. So, and I made some of my homemade sugar-free cranberry cranberry sauce. Oh wow. Y'all. Look at that. Now it's cooled off because we've been doing so much today. You'll see us in the same clothes, just different aprons. That's how I can, when I'm editing my videos, I can tell which clip goes with which video, is because I change aprons. So, but I'm gonna get some cranberry sauce here. You ready? Y'all, dressing is my favorite. I love dressing. And I love cranberry sauce even more.
I love the dark meat of the turkey with dressing.
Y'all.
Oh yeah.
If you have never made hush puppy dressing, it takes a little bit longer, but let me tell you, it is delicious. It is delicious. And please make your homemade cranberry sauce. I'll have the recipe in the description box. Even though you didn't see me make it, I will have it in there. Good, ain't it?
That's good.
Roy and I've been nibbling all day, haven't we? But hey, to me, that's what cooking for the holidays is all about, is nibbling. So, all right. Food feeds the family, family feeds the heart. God feeds the soul. Make you some hush puppy dressing. Really, really good.
Ooh.
Your family will love it. And it'll be a surprise for them.
Tell somebody you love them today and mean it.
That's right. Love you. See you next time.